We're back, people, and today we're bringing up film on Leonard Payne Jr., Colorado D lineman. Dolphins brought him in as an undrafted free agent, and he's very interesting to me, like with his traits that he showcases. I think the things that really I like about him are his versatility. Like, he can play inside, outside, multiple different alignments. Those are the guys I talked about a lot in this draft class, like the Darius Robinsons, the Brandon Dorless. That versatility, I think that kind of just fits into what the Dolphins are going to be doing, and I really like that part of his game. He's just like the undrafted free agent version of those guys, which is fun. Overall, though, I think I like his movement skills, his athleticism, and his combination with that, with his length, I think is very nice to see. He definitely has good movement skills and length, and when he utilizes his length, he definitely can flash really good pass rush skills. Like, there's times where he moves super well, clearly rushes with a plan, and then uses his hands and length to his advantage. So if he can just become more consistent with that, that would be huge for him. I don't really see him as a guy making the roster because of some of the deficiencies he has, but I think he's more of like a developmental practice squad guy. It's because, you know, he definitely struggles with some play strength and balance issues. Like, he ends up on the ground a lot. Doesn't really make too much of an impact versus the run. At least in the games I watched, it was like really not much at all. Like maybe one positive play. And then the pass rush stuff just needs to become at a more consistent level, and yeah, adding some strength to that lower half will definitely help. But that pass rush stuff looks really nice, and he plays with some solid bend movement skills. He would do stuff from, like, I'd say he could play from like that 3-tech area out to like even a standing edge at times. And you know, the D line room, it's not impossible for him to make it with this D line room if he really shows up. They have a lot of bodies there, but they don't have anyone who's like super locked after Sealer and probably Tart. So Payne, like what I saw from, you know, the pass rushing stuff, just needs to become a lot more consistent as a player, and then definitely better overall versus run. But here, we got him as a 4-eye, and usually, you know, it's kind of tough to rush at the 4-eye at times, especially going head-to-head up versus tackles. He does a great job hard selling this to the inside, gets this guy to overplay his leverage, and then hits that club, arm over, back to the outside, so really precise with his hands here. Just needs to become more consistent with that, but when he hits it, it's good. And you can see the fluidity with his hips, the bend to get around the edge, playing as like he's an edge almost. Really impressive stuff there. That's the stuff that I really like about his game. There was just so many negatives when it came to like ending up on the ground a lot. Like even here, he loses his balance a little bit, tripping, trying to get there. That definitely happened a lot, getting pushed back in the running game. But the pass rush flashes are what excite me the most. And that's kind of why I'm like, hey, keep that guy on the practice squad. See if you can develop that. Because he does kind of fit exactly what I think this team is looking for at that position, at least in the pass rushing situations, to add that versatility. And he clearly has like those movement skills and timing and length and stuff that you would want on like twists and stunts, which I think the Dolphins would be using to simulate a bunch of pressure. Another example right here. This time, you know, lined is like that 3-tech, gets a one-on-one with a guard. Just wins another arm over right there. Win to that outside hand, you kind of swipe down there, and then you arm over, boom, throw that right hand once you get that arm over to the back of that elbow right there, and really nice. And then gets after the quarterback, gets a hit. He kind of is losing his balance, going low. Like, he just looks out of control. Like, the initial part all looks good, and then once he's kind of getting there, he just looks out of control, and then a little too often over the film. But he still is winning these reps with quality moves, with that combined athleticism. Clearly having a plan and a repertoire to your advantage. Like this as well, because he's like a 3-tech here, but they're slanting to the inside because they're bringing this pressure. So he gets a one-on-one with a center, kind of starts to like square him up, uses good footwork, definitely showing off that fluidity with his hips. Makes him hard to predict. I love guys with that, have those fluid hips. And then boom, another club, arm over, loves to use that. The ball is just coming out super quickly, but he's able to knife through and get in that, win his rep very instantly. It was just a quick drop for the quarterback and release, but you can see the effectiveness that he has with his hands and using his length and doing it from different alignments, winning to the outside, winning back to the inside. That type of stuff I think shows up over his film. He's definitely more of an interior guy, but I do think, you know, potentially if he ever did get playing time, he could play even some big edge snaps. But you can see him crossing face here, hard stab with that left foot. You can see the bend in that lower half, really low with his knees, which, you know, sometimes makes him go off balance. You can see that explosiveness, boom, rip to the inside here. Just win with quickness, dip, rip underneath. Really just force the QB instantly off his spot, make him panic in the pocket, and then he has to really laser this thing in there. You know, it's not always about getting these sacks, but he doesn't get a ton of those. Like, but he did create a decent amount of pressures in the snaps he did play, because he wasn't starting in the games I watched, or at least some of them. There's other games where he was more like in a rotation. You know, these are reasons why, you know, you're seeing him as a UDFA, mainly I think for a lot of the balance and play strength issues that showed up, and he won't make an impact in the running game if he did have to play. But here, creating that pressure makes 11 have to step in the pocket, really fire it into a tight window, and, you know, just making it a more difficult on the offenses. Here was like probably the one positive rep I found versus the run. He's able to get low, create, use his length, use his leverage here to get his hands into the chest of this guy, and like he almost loses balance there a little bit, but he's able to like reset the line of scrimmage and set the edge basically from an interior spot, which just forces the running back into back all into this work. So it's nothing like super crazy or anything, but overall not a terrible rep. Wanted to at least show it for something kind of positive out there. This one combination of thing, he at least shows a counter. He tries to win back across, you know, to the outside of the face, doesn't work out, so then he hits the spin, gets held up here, which, you know, probably could draw a holding call. But then you can also see like he doesn't have the greatest balance, and when he has to like hard change direction like that, he's not the most fluid. It's more of just like that 1-2 like quick, staying more on a linear path. But so you can see a little bit of the positives and negatives on this play for him, just really ending up on the ground way too easily when he gets like clean like contact on him. Like, it's definitely a point of the game where I'm like, damn, it happened a lot too, like a lot. There's way more plays where I could have shown him ending up on the ground and they wouldn't even have been positives like that. So just something to be wary of. Here he shows some decent awareness, you know, hand in the dirt, lined up as an edge. They're basically showing like three guys on the line of scrimmage here, and he comes off the line. They're throwing a quick screen. He recognizes he's not getting blocked. You can see that some burst there too, and then just awareness. Get your hands up, use that length. Like, he has long arms. I'm pretty sure he has like slightly over 34-inch arms, which is very, very good. And you can definitely, looks like it on tape when he's able to utilize that stuff. So I think the flashes of the pass rush talent is definitely what excites me the most. And here he is again, lined up on the outside. I like having these reps where he can play interior and, you know, as that edge defender. Here you can see some of the movement skills. Knifing to the inside, hard stab outside, get this guy to overset. Wing back to the inside, hit a club rip underneath. They're kind of, you know, he has 41 as a spy, so he knows he's able to knife to the inside like this, which forces the QB just off his spot and throw a dangerous pass down the field. So, you know, just creating pressure again. Nice to see that ability right there. Multiple different alignments. As I was saying, the versatility definitely is one of the key parts of his game. He can just play at a more consistent level. Here's actually one of the sacks he gets, aligned as a 4-eye, and, you know, when you're in this spot, it's actually tough to get after it. I do like that he's, you know, at least straining, fighting, hand fighting, trying to create some pressure in the pocket by pushing there. But the right tackle is really winning this rep, but he's able to stick with it. The quarterback ends up escaping the pocket, showing some effort, and then, you know, gets credit for like half a sack there, which I think is definitely an important part right there. So Leonard Payne, definitely want to see more from him, but developmental guy on the practice squad. I don't think he's one of the guys that makes the roster personally, just based on the negatives to his game. I think there's other guys with better chances, but you never know. People can show up and develop and become better players, and there's something to work with there for sure. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.